Hello everyone, welcome back to another Vex IQ tutorial. And today we're going to be making a dentist. So how this works is basically there are these 6 different kinds of blocks. There are 2 reds, 2 greens, and 2 blues. So what happens is this robot uses one color sensor, one only, and it will move from the first block to the last block. And then in between, it will sense all the blocks, and if you give us how many red blocks there are. So technically it's a dentist because it's trying to find out the bad teeth. So everyone, we're now on to the programming part. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to explain, so just try to be patient. So what you do is obviously open your programming app. It is Vex IQ Robotic. So if you don't have a license for this, you can only use it for a week. So the license is $70, which is kind of expensive, and then you can use it forever. So what you do is create a new file, and then you can just right click and close this one. So now we can start programming. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reset our motor encoder. So what you do that is reset motor encoder. So when this appears, this box appears, you can just use the arrow keys to navigate and then press enter on the one you want. And then now you do 2 brackets and also the semicolon. And then you type in left motor. Now you highlight everything and copy it and paste it. Okay, so we're gonna make it neater here. And then change the left to right. So now we go to motor and sensor setup. And in motors, we'll do left motor. And then on port 1. And on port 6, you type in right motor. You can do whatever you want. You can name it whatever you want. But it's easier if you name it left and right motor. So now on the motor 1, which is the left motor, it says no motor here. Do not click apply if there's nothing here. So you click on it and do Vex IQ motor. And you do the same thing for the motor 6. So now it will say reversed and drive motor side. So what you do is click this box for the right motor. And now change these to whatever the motor is. And click apply. And click OK. You can also type these up here if you want, but it's obviously easier if you do it from here. So resetting the motor encoder means that you're technically resetting the record of the motor. So if the motor is at, for example, 90 degrees, and then if you reset the motor encoder, that means it will change the 90 degrees to 0 degrees. So what we're going to do though is using a while loop. So a while loop is basically if you have while and then you do these brackets, and in the middle you do whatever the program is. So from while you type in this bracket, you type whatever it is. So for example, while, let's just say while get color name is color red, you do whatever. So it's basically like while this happens, another thing happens in this part. So, and also an easier way to clean up your program after you finish it is to click this button. So for example, if we have all these messed up, you can ruin the program. If you have like everything messed up here, like they're all messed up and you're too lazy to get it back yourself, you can just click fix formatting here and it will fix everything, which is pretty cool. So now while we're going to type in this while get motor encoder, and then we have to do another 2 brackets, and in it we're going to type left motor, and then we're going to say less than 690. I tested this before. Basically, you have to run at 690 degrees for you to reach it. You can also test this if you want. So mine is 690. So this means that while the left motor here runs less than 690 degrees from when we resetted it, which is the beginning, it will do this stuff, which is nothing right now, but we will have every other code in it. But then that's only the left motor, so we need the right motor as well. So what we do is do a double AND sign, and then you copy this and paste it here. And instead of left, we're going to change it to right. So that means while get motor left motor smaller than 690 and get motor encoder right motor is smaller than 690. We do the rest of the program. So we're going to make it keep on turning the wheels. So we do set motor speed and then 2 brackets, and in the middle we're going to say left motor, and we're going to do a comma, and behind the comma we're going to say the speed. So the speed I want is 10 because it's slow and it will be easier to look at. So we're going to copy this, and instead of left motor we're going to change it to right motor. So yeah, this program will make it keep on moving for 690 degrees, and if it's any more than that it will stop the whole program. We want it to always display what the number of amount of the red blocks there are, so we have to keep on displaying it. And to display the amount, there's 2 ways. Well, actually there's one, but then there's 2 different kinds. So the first kind is a string, another kind is a variable. So basically, if we do what we want today is a variable, but you can also do it as string. So what you do is display text line and then brackets. First you type the line of which the variable is going to be located. So it can be the first line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line, and so on. So we're going to say the first line for now, and you do the quotation marks, and in it you do %d, which means the variable. And now you do another comma, and behind this we're going to say display the thing that we want. So we're going to display, I guess, bad teeth. So basically it displays the number of bad teeth later. So now we need to create a variable for this bad teeth. So what we do is, from the beginning we do int bad teeth equals to 0. That means from the beginning it creates a variable named bad teeth, and it will equal to 0. So the other way you can do it is, from the beginning you can do string and whatever you name it. So I'll just name this one bad teeth 1 equals. So if you do a string, you cannot make it equal to any numbers. It has to be equal to words. So if you want to do that, you cannot just type in words. You have to do quotation marks, and at the end, obviously, you have to add that. So in the quotation mark, you can type whatever you want to display, such as hello. And now here, instead of bad teeth, we'll add a 1, because that's what our string is. And instead of %d, we'll do %s. So this will display hello on the screen instead of a number. But we're not going to do that today, so let's just change these back. Delete this. But we're still keeping the variable here. So now what we do is go to motor and sensor setup, and from here go to devices, and on port 3 click the no sensor thing, and then scroll down to color sensor and click color name, and then name this color sensor and apply and click OK. So now we go under it and say and get an if statement. So we click on fix formatting. So if statement is kind of obvious. So basically it means if something happens, another thing happens in between. So what we're going to do is since we're wanting to see how many red blocks there are, so we're going to type in if color name, if get color name, and we're going to do brackets, and we're going to say color sensor, and then we're going to say equals to color red. So basically that means if the color sensor senses color that's red, it will do the things in between these two brackets. And also keep in mind that if you have a while statement, it will keep on repeating this statement if this is still true. And then if this is false, it will stop the whole program. Keep that in mind. So next we're going to do put things between the if statement. So in it we're going to say, well, bad teeth equals to bad teeth plus 1. So after I thought about it, we have to add another variable. So under the bad teeth variable, we add another one, which is called int bad teeth 1, and then equals to 0, 2. So now we change this to 1, and then now under it we say bad teeth equals to bad teeth, teeth equal bad teeth. Yeah, that's it. So nope, not bad teeth. So bad teeth 1. So this is easier because if the color sensor senses red, it will change bad teeth 1, which is this variable, to bad teeth plus 1. And then later we'll change bad teeth equals bad teeth 1. So this is easier for me because it's easier for me to understand. Obviously, you can just do bad teeth equals bad teeth plus 1. So yeah. So next we're going to say wait until. And then we're going to do brackets, and inside the bracket we say get color name, brackets again, color sensor, and then outside the bracket we say equals to color blue. So instead of equals equals, we say this equals, which means that it doesn't equal whatever. But because that the color sensor is always sensing different colors, since not everything is exactly the same color, so you cannot really do this, or else it will keep on adding the numbers. So what you do is just do equals. Since I have the other colors I have are blue and green, so I'll just be using blue and also green. But then you cannot say and, since that will be telling the robot that it has to be both green and blue to do it. So you have to say or. So how you say or is pretty simple. You type in these two straight lines, it means or. So now basically you just copy this and paste this. And instead of color blue, we change it to color green. or whatever the color of your block is. So if you have only two different colors, you don't need this part. So what this does is basically every time it adds one, it will wait until color blue or color green is sensed. And then it will, instead of doing this program again, after it waits until the green is sensed, it will do this part or this part again. Because when it waits until color blue or color green, it's not color red anymore. So it does this part instead of this part. We want this because if we don't have this statement, by the way, if you do two lines, it means it makes it a comment, which is not part of the program anymore. So anyways, if we remove this, every time the color red is sensed, it will keep on adding one forever until it's not anymore. So we only want to add it once, and then we'll wait until it equals to color blue or green, and it will, instead of doing this program, it will do this again. So this is the whole program, and after you download it, I'll show you the result.